and I don't think you'll ever regret it. Okay, we've got another big cuff here for you, and this one is called the 3Stone Turquoise Cuff Bracelet, and this one has 3 beautiful stones. One will be a rectangular style in the center, and that's done in the 22 by 15 millimeter, and you have 2 triangular stones on the opposite sides, and those are about 17 by 17 millimeters. Ornate metal detail work, and those are decorated and engraved all the way around each one of those bezel set stones. And then look at the beautiful shank of that bracelet. It almost looks like a fleur-de-lis or a scallop or a shell, and then it tapers, so it's very wearable. Fits up to a 7.5-inch wrist. This is, again, Kingman Turquoise, that's mined in the USA. These are made in the USA. And we have a nice little price break for you today for our Tucson Gem event. You can get that home for less than $58. This is another really great striking representation of the turquoise cuff, which is what you are famous for.
Yes. Well, the artisan here, his name is Raymond Yazzie. He's another relative of Greg Yazzie. So for our silversmithing family, there are different silversmiths that work with each other for a long time. They play off of each other's ideas and also promote other artisans who want to learn come in. When I first went to Chaco Canyon, the star beading that you see on different earrings, I've seen a former bull rider, you know, try out silversmithing, and he wanted to do something different, so the artisans were open to teaching him. And so especially for the Hopi too as well, not the Hopi, the Zuni, they have their own schools for people who want to learn the art of silversmithing, so just to keep that within their culture. So just promoting that big idea of you know, silversmithing, you know, that'll continue to have us bring more jewelry to you at HSN.
Because you don't want it to become a lost art form.
No, you don't.
Right? You don't want to lose this to time. You want this to continue going forward. I think, you know, if you're a jewelry lover, if you love gemstones, if you love design, if you love fashion, there's something about having genuine stones set in solid sterling silver that are still handmade. I mean, think about that. These aren't mass produced. There's no computer. There's no big factory. This is just a handful of artisans in the Southwest from Native American tribes that are creating these pieces with the same time-honored traditions that they've done for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then they're taking some of those new modern methods, they're incorporating them, so you have something that is wearable and something that I think will become one of your most prized possessions. This is really affordable in the world of turquoise and sterling silver. I mean, if you were to shop at a gallery, if you were to go to a boutique, expect to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, $400, $500, that's what this has been appraised for and up. You know, I love going to museums and then going into the museum gift stores, but then the prices are always, you know, a little out of my league. But this is something that is certainly, I think, if you can, within your wherewithal, if you're looking for big statement pieces at affordable prices, I mean, it's just wonderful to see all that color.
Yes, and especially when you look at the pictures of the artisans, the different artisans that you've seen, they're not having, they don't have, you know, fancy machines. They've got T-shirts on, torn T-shirts, and you see the fingers, you know, you have that grubbiness of the silversmithing that they work with, and they're very humble at what they do. And it took me about good 4 to 5 years to meet them at first, because I didn't want to dishonor them by, you know, misrepresenting them. And when I first met them, they were really quiet. And then when we had lunch together, they started slowly opening up and talking. And you know, I was very humbled, because a lot of them told me how they, you know, were brought up, and I was brought up on the same type of reservation. And just to see them have that big pride and bringing it out to here to Florida, and just to learn about each and every one of them, and telling the people around us about, you know, how they live and how they want to keep their culture going. You know, it's very satisfying to me and to them to know that, you know, there's people out there that love their jewelry.
And then also, we can help support that community and help them raise their children and send their children to school and provide for their health and their welfare. I mean, that's just a wonderful way of giving back, right? And if you want to send that love back into the communities, this is a wonderful way to become a part of something bigger than some mass marketed brand. It's not made overseas, it's right here in the USA. So add that to your order. Again, that fits up to about a 7-inch wrist easily. And again, all made in the USA. That's brand new. So I would hate for you to miss out on that piece.